Hello, Level Cast learners. Welcome to your weekly news update. We're here to bring you the most important world events from the week of June 15, 2026. Let's get started. News 1 of 26. First up, in Ukraine, there was a large attack on Kyiv, the capital city. A monastery there caught fire during these attacks. This happened while Russia was making many attacks across the country. Ukraine also struck some Russian explosives and oil places. On day 1573 of the conflict, Ukraine's allies approved a plan for Kyiv to make its own air defense missiles. This is important because Ukraine needs more missiles to protect itself. News 2 of 26. Next, there's news about a peace deal. The U.S. President, Donald Trump, announced a peace deal with Iran. However, the exact details of this agreement are not yet clear. This announcement came during the G7 summit, where leaders from many countries meet. The Prime Minister of Pakistan confirmed the agreement. Some politicians in the U.S. asked for more information, while India was angry because the U.S. had killed some of their sailors. President Trump said the deal would stop a worldwide depression. Reactions to the deal were mixed, and Israel expressed anger. News 3 of 26. Moving on, our Wednesday briefing discussed a serious issue: how to deal with hate. In today's world, far-right groups are using social media to create division. This is happening in many places, from Southampton to Belfast. People are asking for clear and quick ways to stop this digital radicalism, which means extreme ideas spreading online. It's about finding solutions to tackle hate in the digital age. News 4 of 26. In China, there's a glimmer of hope for women who are facing difficulties. Female activists are working secretly to find and help vulnerable women. They believe these women are not getting enough support from the authorities. These activists are working hard to make a difference and provide help to those who need it most. News 5 of 26. President Trump also spoke at the G7 summit about immigration and energy. He said he hopes Europe finds its way on these issues. This news was covered in a live blog, which has now finished. His comments show the different opinions and challenges that global leaders face when discussing important topics like movement of people and energy resources. News 6 of 26. In Bunia, a city affected by Ebola, many people are losing their lives and their incomes. The virus is having a big impact on public-facing workers. For example, a head teacher, a motorcycle taxi driver, and a travel agent are among those who are suffering. This shows the human and economic problems caused by the virus in the community. News 7 of 26. A new poll has found something interesting about crime. People in Western Europe believe that crime is increasing, even though the actual crime rates are falling. A survey of 6 countries by YouGov showed this difference in perception. However, most people still trust their national police forces, which is a positive sign. News 8 of 26. In Norway, the son of the crown princess has been found guilty of serious crimes. Marius Borg Høiby was convicted of 2 counts of rape, 1 count of domestic violence, and other offenses. He has been sentenced to 4 years in prison. This is a significant legal case involving a member of the royal family. News 9 of 26. The ongoing conflict between the U.S. and Israel against Iran is having a huge global cost. Thousands of lives have been lost, and there's an economic shock that could make millions of people poor. The world is paying a very high price for this conflict, affecting many countries and people around the globe. News 10 of 26. In Lebanon, people are reacting to a ceasefire with caution. While officials are happy about the agreement to stop fighting, many ordinary people are not sure if it will last. They are also returning to their homes to find them destroyed. This shows how difficult it is to trust peace after a long conflict. News 11 of 26. Here's a story about justice working slowly. A moped that was stolen in 1984 has been returned to its owner. Police in Italy found the Gorelli bike when they saw it without a license plate during a roadside check. This shows that sometimes, even after a very long time, stolen items can be recovered. News 12 of 26. Our Tuesday briefing looked at a disagreement about military spending in the UK. This argument has highlighted questions about Britain's role in the world and how warfare is changing. It's a complex issue for the UK's defence plans and its place on the international stage. News 13 of 26. Good news from Spain. Households are saving money thanks to renewable energy. A report found that Spanish families are saving €10 a month. By using more renewable energy, Spain has been able to separate electricity prices from gas prices. This has also helped protect the country from price increases caused by the Iran war. News 14 of 26. In the US, hundreds of dogs will be sent to rescue organizations. This is happening because a research facility called Ridgeland Farms is closing down. This facility, which used animals for research, was the focus of many protests. Now, these beagles will have a chance at a new life. News 15 of 26. Toronto police have connected many shootings to a multi-layered gun-for-hire network. Officials say that young adults and teenagers are being recruited through apps like Telegram. They are then paid to carry out attacks. This reveals a serious problem with organized crime in the city. News 16 of 26. Ukrainian President Zelensky thanked the G7 leaders for their strong ideas on how to force Russia into peace. He praised the successful talks that took place. This happened after President Trump suggested that Russia should make a deal, following the G7 meeting. News 17 of 26. A Russian artist and critic of President Putin and the Chechen leader has been shot dead in Poland. Robert Kuzovkov, who was also known as Semyon Skripetsky, was attacked. 2 people from Belarus have been arrested in connection with his death. News 18 of 26. France is planning to stop using AI data tools from Palantir, a U.S. company. Instead, they will use a domestic provider. The Prime Minister said this move is to avoid strategic dependencies, meaning they want to rely less on foreign tools, especially those controlled by the U.S. News 19 of 26. In New Zealand, seeing a rat can lead to a quick response. Teams of Ghostbusters, as they are called, hunt down these pests. They react to information from the public as part of the country's plan to get rid of all introduced predators, like rats. News 20 of 26. Switzerland recently voted on limiting its population to 10 million people, but the idea was rejected. This referendum shows that even in rich countries, some groups are finding new ways to promote anti-immigration ideas. It's an interesting insight into political trends. News 21 of 26. Iceland is getting ready for its own referendum on joining the EU. After President Trump's comments about Greenland, many people in Iceland believe they would be stronger if they were part of the European Union. However, the country's recent history of independence might also influence the vote. News 22 of 26. Social media companies are reacting to a new announcement from the UK. The leader of the Labour Party, Keir Starmer, wants to ban social media for people under 16 in the UK. Companies like Meta, YouTube, and Snapchat say this ban would make children go to less safe services. News 23 of 26. There was anger in the European Parliament after right-wing members chanted, "Send them back." This happened after a vote on a new EU migration law. Other lawmakers responded with, "Shame on you," in a heated argument over the plan to increase deportations. News 24 of 26. Ukraine carried out a large drone attack on Moscow, the capital of Russia. This brought the war closer to ordinary Russians. People in Ukraine are now preparing for Russia's response to this attack, which could be very strong. News 25 of 26. Mosques in the UK have been advised to practice lockdown drills. This advice comes amid worries about anti-Muslim attacks. The Muslim Council of Britain has also urged mosques to work more closely with the police and improve their CCTV security systems. News 26 of 26. Finally, the Irish Parliament has voted to remove a 3-day waiting period for abortions. This waiting period was originally part of a law designed to get support for an abortion ban in a 2018 vote. Now, that requirement will be removed. That's all for this week's global news on Levelcast. Keep practicing your English with us, and we'll see you next time.